What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. So we've been interrupted. I told you what I was planning to bring to you next after our last live stream. But I also said that if, unless something else pops up or something else happens. And so, alas, something else has happened. And it's also important because this speaks exactly to my last live stream and the one before that. Let me go back. So that I have context. So yeah, so my last live stream, my last two live streams, yeah, because the one before that was the Deshaun Jackson thing is what provoked that. Um, and then I followed up again yesterday because I wanted to expound upon that. And exactly what I said to you in both those pieces is what we have right now. Because we don't have Deshaun Jackson knowing who he is, we have Nick Cannon. Well, we know Nick Cannon knows who he is, but just stay with me. Because Deshaun Jackson and Steven Jackson don't know who they are, it has paved the way for Nick Cannon. Now, first I want to shout out Ronaldo Wynn. Ronaldo is the one that made me aware of that. We had a very good conversation this morning, and then just after we got off the phone, poof, he sent me the link saying, Jedi, look at this. And this is right up there with, and I'm very tired, but this is right up, and I'm heat stroked or something. I'm just stroked, y'all. I'm stroked. But this is right up there with what I said to you. This is the game that's being played, this competition of suffrage and daring us, and then also just the fact that we have been victims since before 1619, and because there's so much attention on our suffrage now, here they come. Here they come. Here they come. We're going to hear the audio, just a little bit of the audio, of what they had to say on TMZ. Inshallah, you'll be able to hear this. As I get it ready, let me say. I'm glad this has happened to Nick Cannon, because what you need to know is that after Ronaldo sent me the link for this morning, I immediately began to go into producing something on this. But I got a snafu because I had to watch the video. The video of him and Professor Griff is like an hour and like 50 minutes, I think it is. So I needed to be abreast on that before I did anything, and I started sourcing pictures, and then I wanted to do some cross-referencing and blah, blah, blah. But that necessarily had to fall through because there's so many moving parts to this. But why I bring that up is because I know that one of the things I said in production when I started on that, I said to you, they got the right one now, because Nick Cannon is not going to just run away. He's not going to just run away. Like, that, nah. Because Nick Cannon has money, and he's going to be all right. But it's a principle of the issue, and Nick Cannon's got a little bit of a head on his shoulders. I even seen him go up against Angela Rye. You understand what I'm telling you? So, he's not going to go quietly into that good night. You also need to know that the real reason why this is a dust-up is not because Nick Cannon said anything anti-Semitic. Because as we know, that's not really their point. You don't really need to say anything anti-Semitic. You don't need to. The point of it is to continue to sell this lie that white people from Poland and Germany and Ireland somehow magically morphed into Semitic people. That's our issue, because like I told you, we don't really care about anybody following the Jewish faith, following the law, following Torah. You understand? That's fine. Anybody can go and do that. That's fine. That doesn't make you Semitic. Just like white folks can listen to hip-hop music all damn day, you will never be black. You will never be black. Stew in that. You will never be black. You won't be. You won't be. You can't be. You understand? So, the issue is to keep this on the minds of the people. And the best time to tell anybody anything is in crisis. So here we are in a time of national crisis. We use that term very, I don't want to say carefully, but just there's a lot of layers to that word, because it's not, because everybody ain't in crisis, and indeed there are those who are causing crisis. But there is a state of crisis, and so now, poof, let's throw out all this other stuff and latch it on to black people, and indeed to try and outdo you. You see? Quick, have an all transgender lives matter march. Quick, go do that. While the eyes of everybody's on everything. So then you begin to hear the language from people you hear on television and in articles and people talk to on the street. They just start saying, well, just everybody's suffering. And then this whole fight against white racism. It's important to identify the racism, because that's who the racists are. So this fight against white racism becomes just a struggle against some inanimate, non-human thing that doesn't have a face or a name or an address. You understand? And so this is adding on to that now. Let's throw in this so that the focus becomes on these non-Semitic, indeed anti-Semitic as people, because these are the same people that are against Orthodox Jews. Hear that. They are against Orthodox Jews. And there's plenty of articles and video that you can go and source right now, that you can go and source, and you can see them physically attacking, blooding and beating Orthodox Jews, even in their state of Israel. You see? We have to know who we're dealing with. And as I said to you, none of these people making this claim are Orthodox Jews. Before you even get to Semitic, they're not even Orthodox Jews. And I told you can also go and watch anytime you want to. You can do a search for Orthodox Jews denouncing Zionism, denouncing the state of Israel, denouncing the violence and the genocide against Palestinians, denouncing that Jewish flag, all of that. That's against their religious tenets. It is. We don't got no problems with Orthodox Jews at all. At all. At all. So, here's the crux of it. Because, again, the people that you see on TV, those will be your Zionist class. You see, this is akin to, no matter how serious or real they are, devout Christians will say, devout Jews, and devout Muslims, devout people of faith. You just don't see us in certain settings. Just wouldn't happen. No devout Jew, Christian, or Muslim runs a strip club or a smoke shop or a liquor store or something like that. Just you wouldn't see people, So Orthodox Jews are not running media and television and entertainment. Those are Zionist people, everybody. You have to understand the difference between Zionists and Jews. Judaism and Zionism are two totally separate things. Zionism is to Judaism what ISIS is to Islam. Like, those people don't have anything to do with Islam. Nothing at all. Like, there's nothing about them that's Islam. What? Has nothing to do. Zionism is to the Orthodox Jew what the crackhead transient in your city is to you. Are you related to them? Do you know them? Huh? Do they speak for you? No. So Zionists don't speak for Jews. And so it's important that everybody begin to make that separation so you can root these people out like the rats that they are. Do you understand? Hear this now. Wait. Okay, let me pull up the volume just a little bit. Because what we're seeking to hear here is Charles, first of all, the fucker that sits up there with Harvey fake ass Zionist Levin, needs to die off. And also, before I get into that, to the point of even Harvey Levin, he calls himself a Jew. So again, we're making a distinction between, we're making two separate distinctions here. We're making this distinction between Zionism and Judaism. That's one distinction. The second distinction that we're making is the difference between Orthodox Jews, or I'm sorry, between Semitic Jews and non-Semitic. All right, that covers the basis. So we're looking at Judaism and Zionism, and Semitic Jews and and non-Semitic Jews. So Harvey Levin, we won't even speculate on his level of worship and attention to his faith for a minute, just for a minute, all right, to say that were he a practicing serious Orthodox Jew, even though he is a gay man, he would abstain from that. You see? But he's a gay dude promoting that. That's against their religious tenet. It just is. So he has no credibility. And then Charles's fake ass, we need to definitely start boycotting TMZ because A, Charles is not an African person. He's not. We want him removed and we want those locks out of his hair. You understand? He's not an African person, and no doubt he's hugged up with somebody white. No doubt. He's just the in color only gratuitous black person that's up there. We also question how it is that when they have callers that call into TMZ, 90% of the callers are African people. Do you know how hard it is to call a television show and to get through? Those people didn't just get through and then, oh my God, they're on. Trust me, they went through some layers of producers. Somebody talked to them. It wasn't just you just say what you're going to say. They know what you're going to say before you say it and all of that. That's why you never hear anything of real merit being spoken by any of the people calling in. And there's a certain demographic that they obviously desire to put before the public. That's the effeminate gay black dude, or nondescript in some kind of way, or at the very least sounds white. Definitely doesn't have an African vibrato, and like I really ain't seen no muscle-bound brother with tattoos that's militant and wears braids in his hair or something. You feel me? It's always some fake me out black person. The same with the sisters. You know, it's just, you know, or you, it's this is what's calling it to TMZ. You mean to tell me those are the only people calling in, and from all over the country? Because they state their name and where they're calling from when they get on. How is it that black people are the ones mostly getting through? Because they're taking those calls. We need to be asking why. By the way, for those of you who are sitting that have not thumbs up the stream, you need to thumbs up the stream. We have 27 people watching and 13 thumbs ups. If you can't thumbs up, then I'll stop the stream and I will go back like I had been doing and make it 18 and over only, because I got better compliance that way. So I can do that, or you can just simply hit the thumbs up right now while you're watching me. All right? So I'm going to play this, and then if we haven't gotten compliance, then I'm going to stop the stream. I'll restart it, and then I will set the settings so that you have to sign in and be 18 in order to watch. All right? Okay, here.
TMZ Live, Harvey Levin here. Charles here. So there is a war brewing between Nick Cannon and Viacom, which is the owner of CBS and MTV and all those shows. As you probably know by now, Nick was fired from Wild and Out, the show that he created for. He created the show. He did create the show. Fired because Viacom said the comments he made involving a podcast were anti-Semitic, and that he would not apologize.
Right now, right there, Nick would not apologize. Told him to bite his ass. Just like when he was not on America's Got Talent, and had made a statement during a comedy routine someplace else, saying that NBC stood for something. I can't remember it now. Anyways, they found that offensive and tried to come at him for that. He told them to bite his ass, and he left. You understand? So this is that again. Here he is, not on a show, on his own podcast, speaking to Professor Griff, and they want to try and chastise him for that. Well, I'm also here to tell you that the reason why this all went on is not because he did anything anti-Semitic. Remember, we are Semitic people. We are Semitic people. We are the Semitic people. You understand? Because we come from the land, the bloodline, and the languages of those that are Semitic. Do a search right now and just put in a search that says, who are the Semitic people? And you won't see anything that describes white people. That's just a fact. That's a fact. So they can bitch and rant all they want to with this fiction. They're not ever going to become Semitic. They are not Semitic. They're not Semitic, and we have to make that distinction. You understand? You can, like I say, you can become a Jew all day. You can join the Jewish faith. There's no problem with that. But you are not Semitic, and they know it, and that's that's the main part that I want you to hear in this, because obviously Harvey Levin is a Zionist, and those little minions, the little white minions that you see that come in and speak even when they're in the studio when it's not a virus, and the different ones that be speaking, they're all Zionists too. You see? And then that Babcock dude with the little peacock hair, clearly the racist among. He tries to hide it, but you can see right through him. But hear this now.
Episode in June, late June, of Nick's podcast, Cannon's Class, he was talking with Professor Griff.
That's the problem, that he was speaking with Professor Griff. But let's hear. I want you to hear the main part that I'm trying to let you hear. All right, let's discuss.
Formerly of Public Enemy, and the formerly Public Enemy is the critical part here, because they're talking about why Griff was fired from Public Enemy. Comments he made back, I believe, in the early 90s that were widely held to be anti-Semitic, and Public Enemy cut ties with him for that. So they are having a discussion about those comments, those remarks that Griff made, and Nick seemingly defends / rationalizes Griff's comments by saying this.
When we talk about the lies, the deceit, how the fake dollar controls all of this, then maybe we can get to the reason why they wanted to silence you, why they want to silence Mr. Farrakhan, and they want to throw that we are having hate speech when it's never hate speech, when it's not. You can't be anti-Semitic when we are the Semitic people, when we are the same people that who they want to be. That's our birthright. That's our birthright.
So
now hear this, because this exchange is important.
Charles, I think what we've got to do is you got to get into what Professor Griff said before we get into whatever Nick embraced. I mean, in a nutshell, what Griff said back in the day was that the Jewish people were wicked and were responsible for spreading wickedness around the globe.
Now, you never hear, and there's Harvey Levin sitting up there. Listen, I'm a Muslim. I always tell you, if you're going to represent anything or be a part of anything, you should know all of its moving parts. So anybody watching me or listening to me now that wanted to ask me about the difference between the Nation of Islam and Orthodox Islam and ISIS, I should be able to give you a very intelligent and developed and thorough answer on that. Absolutely. So I bring that because Harvey Levin is supposed to be a Jew. He now, and not just him, but anytime they have this nonsense going on, he should be stepping up. When Charles just made the quote, citing what Professor Griff allegedly said back in the 80s or 90s or whatever it was, he should be saying, well, he must be talking about the Zionists. But they get off on, and their little scheme doesn't work unless you think, the ignorant public, unless you're led to believe that they're all the same, that there's only one Jew. That's it. That's it. You see? And they don't like when distinctions are made. I cite for you. There was a episode of Bill Maher, like some years ago now, where Ben Affleck was up there, and of course Bill Maher likes to talk shit about Muslims, and that we're all terrorists and all this and the third. If we really were, there's enough of us in this country already that we could have annihilated this bitch. So be thankful that we're not. All right. But alas, Ben Affleck had the courage to speak up and say, no, there's 1.8 billion Muslims, and he really defended Islam, like to the tilth. Of course, Bill Maher was trying to shout him down and all this and the third. But my point is that here is Ben Affleck, who's neither a Muslim or he's not a Muslim. And so, but here he was defending Islam and Muslims, saying it's not all of them. So here you sit as a Zionist, and you won't speak up and say he's talking about the Zionists because you are a Zionist. My point is made by his silence, is what I'm trying to tell you. And he's letting Charles do the speaking, you see? Because that's a little butt puppet boy, you see? Hear this now.
And so now they're having discussion about that. And I guess rationalization seems to be that can't be anti-Semitic, Griff, because you are the Semitic people. You are Semitic. So how can you...
Now, you see when he requotes Nick, he says as if Nick is saying, Griff, you are Semitic, not we are, because that's what Nick said, because we are the Semitic people. But when Charles says it, because listen, these people know what words they're choosing, everybody. So when fake-ass Charles, sellout bitch, says what he just said, he said that on purpose. That Nick said, no, Griff, you hear it
discussion
again.
About that. And I guess rationalization seems to be that can't be anti-Semitic, Griff, because you are the Semitic people. You are Semitic. So how can you be against yourself? Right. So I think what he's saying is...
So I think what he's saying, nobody knows anything for sure. You know, I think, and we don't know, and I think, and it's all bullshit. Understand that. Hear this now.
That if black people are the Semitic people, then they can't be anti-Semitic because they would be anti themselves, and then he's saying Jews are not the Semitic people.
He thinks that's what argument Nick is making. He knows that's exactly the point, because he knows what I'm telling you, that white people have no claim to Semitism at all. None at all. They can be a Jew all day. You understand? They can live in the synagogue. That's fine. But you will never be Semitic. But hear this now.
I guess it gets back to this.
I guess.
Whether, and that's an opinion, but...
And that's an opinion. You see that little stab right there? Again, he's supposed to be a Jew. Let's take out the difference between Zionists and Orthodox Jews just for a moment. Let's just say they were all one, and they are not. But let's just say they're all one. He's supposed to be a Jew. And that's an opinion? How many millions of times have you heard me sit here and firmly say the Nation of Islam are not Muslims? I don't care what they tell you. Because I'm a Muslim. They are not Muslims. You see? And to represent anything else would be disingenuous. Just like this fake bastard is being. You understand? Hear it again. And we'll go on.
You are not the Semitic people.
Just a second. A little bit more.
The Semitic people...
Just a second.
Semitic, Griff, because you are the Semitic people. You are Semitic. So how can you be against yourself? Right. So I think what he's saying is that if black people are the Semitic people, then they can't be anti-Semitic because they would be anti themselves, and then he's saying Jews are not the Semitic people. I guess it gets back to this. Whether, and that's an opinion.
You see? Well, that's an opinion. No, you should know. Because if I was just an idiot and just landed on the earth today and walked with your bitch ass I said, I'm looking at joining Judaism. What can you tell me? He should be able to tell me. You see, if I said to him, yeah, I just landed on Earth today, and I heard that and I just say I was green, or I was purple or something, and I said, I want to become a Jew and learn something about the Jewish faith, but I talked to somebody that was brown, like a chocolate color, and they were telling me that they're Semitic Jews. He should have an answer for that. Not, well, that's an opinion. Because what we also need to be saying to these fake Zionist people is, prove then, show us some evidence of your Semitism. Show me that you're Semitic. Show us. Oh, you'll never be able to produce it. You see? So they don't ever want the conversation to go there. And, excuse me, and by messing with somebody like Nick Cannon, this can could get open, where they're forced into a corner where they're going to finally have to either answer that question or take their bitch asses and climb into the damn rat hole they came out of. Hear this now.
But if
Remember, that's an opinion, said the Zionist, whatever he is.
if you look at his comments, the issue is, at the very least, it's anti-Jewish.
Now we're into anti-Jewish. That's a term I've never heard. This is a sign of desperation, because my whole life, and I'm 25, has been anti-Semitic. This is the first time. That's why it rang like a Christmas tree bell to me when I heard him say it earlier. I was like, now we're anti-Jewish now. As if there can be some distinction between being a Semitic African person and being a Jew. I'm a Muslim, but I cannot divorce myself of my Semitic DNA. I am an Israelite, period. And that's not in conflict with Islam at all. In fact, if my people would really get to what is real from the divine, you would understand that you would be doing the same thing that we do. And why we call ourselves Muslims is because Islam means submission. Those who do submission are called Muslims, Muslims. You understand? But that I've done that class. I'm not going to do it now. But I needed to bring that as I try to make this point about this.
And
Now we're anti-Jewish.
arguably, and a lot of people say it's anti-Semitic.
And then a lot of people say it's anti-Semitic. But you're sitting up there as a Jew. You don't know if it's anti-Semitic or not? A lot of people say, and you're a reporter, you should know. But they are demons of the same coin, because Charles says that they're like, he doesn't know anything black, and he doesn't, so he's not even faking. All right, he's just an airhead.
Right, and that's
Right,
what
and
Viacom said. And they said, look, we had a conversation with Nick, and the fact that he would not apologize.
The fact that he would not apologize, because they always, white people, I don't care if they claiming they Jewish or not or whatever, they want you to lick their ass, and nothing sets them off like a firecracker worse than when you don't give them satisfaction. It burns their ass when you just ignore them and don't comply. Hear that now, because I want to get to the main part. This is all.
Right, and
this is all part of what I want to share too. But there's a crescendo.
And that's what Viacom said. And they said, look, we had a conversation with Nick, and the fact that he would not
The
apologize
fact that he would not apologize.
For what they felt is perpetuating anti-Semitism.
Now he's perpetuating.
That's why they cut ties with him.
We're getting hung up on the semantics of this.
Now in comes one of the other Zionists. All right? We're getting hung up on semantics, he says. Go on.
Entire thing, right? What Nick Cannon is saying may or may not be true.
What Nick Cannon is saying may or may not be true. Really? Again, nobody knows. It's always nobody knows when when they're confronted with the truth. It becomes ambiguous. Well, nobody really knows. We just don't know. Oh, bitch, we know. We know. Oh, we know. And that's the problem. You know we know. But wait, let's let's lead into his statement. Because it gets into semantics now, everybody, and we just don't know.
Anti-Semitism. That's why they cut ties with him.
We're getting hung up on the semantics of this entire thing, right? When Nick Cannon is saying may or may not be true that the original people, his people are the original Semitic
That the original people, his people are the original Semitic people, and
people, so you can't be anti-Semitic. The real question is it
the real question is, wait,
right? When Nick Cannon
we're going to flush this out. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Perpetuating anti-Semitism. That's why they cut ties with him.
We're getting hung up on the semantics of this entire thing, right? When Nick Cannon is saying may or may not be true that the original people, his people are the original Semitic people.
See, may or may not be true. He didn't have the courage to say is not true. Because that opens up the can of worms bigger than they want to. May or may not. These are all lawyers, by the way, except for Charles' failed ass. All right, but may or may not be. But you are supposed to be a Zionist. So you know. The Orthodox Jews have no problem saying those people are Zionists. They have no problem with that. And they're putting their lives on the line even. Go and watch them being bloodied and beaten by Zionists because they don't like the truth. What I'm really telling you is we can put Zionist or any label we want on it. The fact of the matter is just white devil. That's it. That's it. That's it. They even also, to give you another deeper slice of this issue, everybody, they're also hung up on being known as white or not. This goes back years, decades, generations with these people. They also are hung up on being seen as white. They want to be seen as a struggling class of people when the history just doesn't show that. Just doesn't show it. And for all this persecution they claim, you don't get the credit without the work. So I'm happy to acknowledge that you're going through all this strife and suffering, but show it to me. Show me. Show me. Show me where you're being persecuted with your billion-dollar corporations and your multinational this and that. And I'd love to see your suffering, because if you're suffering, I want that suffering. Sign me up for that suffering and persecution. I want that right now. Sign me up for persecution. Just put the Jedi down. Jedi, persecute it. Put him down. Persecute me till I'm blue. But let's hear the last of this so I can really get into this. And I want to come back to that point about them having an issue with being white. Somebody remind me in case I forget. So you need to remember. There's more of you guys than me, so there's more brains. All right, hear the last of this. Right now, according to him, it may or may not be true. Because nobody knows. It's ambiguous, and we just
We're getting hung up on the semantics of this entire thing, right? When Nick Cannon is saying may or may not be true that the original people, his people are the original Semitic people, so you can't be anti-Semitic. The real question is it anti-Jewish?
Now, there it is again. The real question now, is it anti-Jewish? I need to do my work so that you can really you don't leave this video not understanding how ridiculous of a statement that is and why they're making it. That's my task. That's my task. So that now, you already heard Harvey say it. I told you it rang in my head like Christmas bells. Now, this other Zionist says the same thing. So now we're off because we'll never win the argument of whether or not they're the original Semitic people. We won't win that argument. So quick, strategy B, plan B, escape clause. It's anti-Jewish. Quick. Evacuation plan. That's what we're dealing with. So now it becomes, well, you're not a Jew, so you don't know what's offensive to us. Changing the rules while I'm playing the game. I can't take it much longer. I think I may go insane. Always changing the shit in the middle of the street, you see? So here now, quick, abandon anti-Semitic. Jump onto the anti-Jewish. So now what does that mean? Because in the context that we're speaking in, nobody's bringing in any other faith. So it's implied, and indeed, by default, it's the fact that we're only talking about Judaism and being a Jew. And as it's in one ball, being a Jew, being Semitic, and being the original people or not. So the issue can't be separated and parsed out. No, bitch, stay on topic. So, may or may not be true that they're original people. So if they're the original people, and that may or may not be true according to the Zionists, then we're still only talking about the Semitic people that are Israelites. You understand? That later became this term Jew, whatever that means. All right, but whatever. So that's what we're talking about. But they're so desperate in their evil. We will make it about anti-Jewish now. Because we're white and whatever we say, it can just be that. Up is down, down is up, in is out, and black is white.
So Professor Griff's...
Just a second.
Right. And that's
this
what
devil again.
Viacom said. And they said, look, we had a
Shut up, Charles. Shut.
or what they felt is perpetuating.
Die your bitch ass off. Die off.
Right, when Nick Cannon is saying may or may not be true that the original people, his people are the original Semitic people, so you can't be anti-Semitic. The real...
His people. You see, you can let him say black people. His people. His people. Because Charles is sitting up there too. Fake ass Charles, but still. You notice this white devil picked his people. That wasn't a slip of the tongue, everybody. That he's selecting his words. Because they don't want to give any ground. Wouldn't Nick Cannon saying may or may not be true that his people, because he says black people, you see?
question is,
Go back.
people, his people are the original Semitic people, so you can't be anti-Semitic. The real question is it anti-Jewish?
So now we're moving to where eventually the jig is going to be up, and we're going to have to say they're the original people. So now we'll just scream the anti-Jewish now. We'll just scream that. Until we all become Jews, bitch. Oh, understand that. But we don't need to. You understand? Whether we are practicing Israelites or not. And you would be if you follow Torah or you follow Quran. And if you almost even halfway follow the Old Testament. There, I said it. My point is that when we follow the ordained lifestyle that the one who creates has ordained for us, it doesn't have a label. Even the divine won't care about the label. At the end of the day, you're going to be judged on the great day or whether or not you submitted to what he revealed to you. It's not going to be a word quiz. I need you to hear that because in this context, when he's saying, when they're trying to shift the conversation now to, well, it's anti-Jewish. Now, I just spoke holistically, but if we want to speak individually, then if I'm Nick's advisor, I would say, Nick, quick, go and join the local synagogue tomorrow. Do it. Do it. Do it. And get a menorah just for good measure. Or, and a yarmulke. Why not? Why not?
Professor Griff said anti-Jew.
Just a second.
It may not be true that the original people, his people are the original Semitic people, so you can't be anti-Semitic. The real question is it anti-Jewish? Is what Professor Griff said anti-Jewish? And the answer seems to be clearly yes.
And now everything's clear. The answer is clearly yes. But all this ambiguity from Harvey and from his Zionist ass, well, it may not be true. We just don't know. We just can't tell them. We just don't know. And now, but it's clearly yes, he says. Because when it serves their demon asses, they're clear on the answers. Be right at all costs. We're white, therefore we must be right. At all costs, truth be damned.
And then did Nick Cannon sign on to that anti-Jewish perspective, putting aside the word Semitic, because there's some, obviously, controversy there. And that's...
Well, listen, and because he can only have this argument if he's not going to divorce himself from Zionism, because I told you, they want to keep it all as one ball. So he's saying it's definitely anti-Jewish, and so Nick Cannon is signing on to the statement by Professor Griff that Jews are evil. Well, Zionists are evil. They just goddamn it are. You understand? And not just because the Jedi says, but because they are, and because, as I told you, even Orthodox Jews cannot stand their ass. So, yes, they're evil. Yes, damn it, yes. So, now so instead of them saying, but he's only talking about the Zionists, he's not talking about the Orthodox Jew. Because you can tell anything you want to say about the Nation of Islam and anybody that's not Muslim. You understand? And I can have a point of view on that just because I know about it. But I can also defend Islam. And there's no attempt there because they want you to think they're all the same. So that'd be like me sitting here bitching and saying, you're against ISIS. You're saying ISIS is bad. Yes, bitch, I'm saying ISIS is bad. But you're not, but I'm also sitting here saying, well, I'm ISIS and I'm offended by that. Instead of just simply divorcing myself and saying, well, you can say all you want to say about them. I'm not ISIS and I don't have shit to do with that. So what does that mean for me? It doesn't pay my rent. It doesn't put gas in my car. So I'm not really sure why we're discussing it.
You know, that's what Viacom went out to Nick with, and they said that he refused to apologize or even acknowledge the anti-Jewishness of the remark, and therefore they had to cut ties with him.
I'm over it. We've heard enough. You can watch the rest of it probably on TMZ. I think that was the only thing I needed to hear from them, right?
Wants two things now. Nick wants an apology from Viacom and ownership of what.
Yeah, I can speak on that without hearing it. Because you guys know that Nick Cannon has this Wild and Out show on MTV, which is owned by Viacom. And he is the creator of the show. It's so ironic because I just saw Nick Cannon on a show called Uncensored a couple weeks ago. And he was talking about how, how he created that and how he produced that. His word create, my word produce. I told you we don't create, only Allah creates. That's it. But he produced this and imagined it and blah, blah, blah. And I had just seen him talking about that. And so now they come with this. But also, you need to go and watch the entire thing of him and Professor Griff, which is called you'll put in, it's called Full Session Professor Griff. That's literally the title of the video. Full Session Professor Griff. And it's on Nick Cannon's YouTube channel. It's an hour and 29 minutes. Yeah. But here's the thing, everybody. When you watch it, you'll see this was their whole discussion. And what really pissed them off was first, he had Professor Griff up there. Because remember, when white people say that somebody's bad, everybody's supposed to co-sign on that when they're the most evil fucking thing on the planet. But so instead of, I wish everybody on the planet felt that same way about their bitch asses. It'd be a lot better for all of humanity right now. But when they proclaim somebody bad, you're not allowed to pick them up or befriend them or anything like that. This is that. Because they already did away with Professor Griff back in the 80s or 90s or whatever they said. And shame on Chuck D and Flavor Flav. You understand? Because his crime then was speaking the truth. That was his crime. I told you, the only people that have villainized truth and righteousness on the earth is white people. They have a visceral reaction to truth, the same way a vampire has to holy water. The same thing. It's the same thing. And so his crime was, how dare you deal with Professor Griff when we have allowed you to have access and we've allowed you. Not that he didn't come to earth with any talent at all and didn't make any way for himself. No. They did everything. So how dare you bite the hand that feeds in their white mind? You got to be able to speak white devil, everybody, and process it like they process. You understand? You can't beat your enemy if you don't know exactly how they think. This is how they think. And then their other thing is to say they don't think like that. I'm over it. Anyway, okay, it's an hour and 45 minutes. No. It's an hour and 29 minutes. It's my final answer. So, that was his first crime, having Professor Griff. Because they've already said he's banned and he's bad and they don't have him up on anything. And Professor Griff keeps telling them while he's up there, he said, man, what we doing right here, this is dangerous. Like, this is dangerous. They don't want to see this. You know, two brothers sitting here talking like this and what we talking about. They said these things. And talked about other people's careers being ended and all this. And, I mean, this was like, he spoke his own obituary on this subject. You got to watch it. You got to watch it. I think I saved it. So if you haven't found it, when I get off the live stream, I can't make that guarantee. I was going to say I'll try and link it. At some point, I'm going to link it. I just don't know when. All right, so you need to find it. But that was his first crime. Second crime was they dared to talk about Minister Louis Farrakhan in a positive light. How dare you? Because they've already said he's anti-Semitic, and so he's supposed to be that until the day he dies. Well, what's good for the goose? I say white people are the devil till the day I die. You understand? So, what's good for the goose? But you're dealing with a hypocrite, a population of a hypocrite entity that only studies and thrives and in hypocrisy and lies and fakery and just all things bad. That's who you're dealing with these people. Double standard as I don't know what. But everybody else is supposed to be exactly something else. Nah. When in Rome, do what the Romans do. So, he dared to talk about Louis Farrakhan in a positive light. Then, he dared to make that statement that you heard. That we are the Semites. We are the Semitic people. It's us. And he dared to say that we are the people that they wish they were. They don't like that. But we got to be over as a people. I wish the rest of humanity could get to this that aren't white. But certainly us. You need to have a funeral, a mock funeral today, tonight, whatever, at your very earliest convenience. You have a funeral for giving a fuck about what white people think or say or their damn feelings. We're over that shit. Those days are over. We don't give a fuck what they think, what they say, and how they feel. Period. We can't. We don't and we won't. And we don't need to. We're over it. That was the other mistake he made. Not giving a damn what Massa would think about what he was saying. You see? So, listen, here's how petty these people are. I have to segue on this just real quick. Because it just came to me. Alhamdulillah. Do you not understand there was a new Ford Bronco that was just released, everybody? And they delayed it by one day because they didn't want to release it on the day that OJ allegedly killed Nicole Brown Simpson. We're supposed to forget about the biggest racist ever known to humanity that took the stand and took the fifth on every fucking thing, including his name. Forget that part. Forget that he said there was 2 gloves and then now we're saying there's 1. Forget that. Throw that out. Forget all the other tapes they let in from all the shit showing that he definitely was a racist and a leader of the freaking Klan and everything else. Forget that. Just throw all that out, everybody. That's not relevant. We only want the part that serves white people. Don't you understand that? Your life would be better once you understand we're only here to serve white people. I don't know why you guys can't understand this. I don't know why you don't understand it. So, this is that. So, it's, no, forget all that. It's this. And then he went on saying that they are savage, that they are the most like animals. All things true. You'll have to see the whole thing, but he didn't really have anything kind to say about the bitch asses because what is there to say? We don't need to join their fairyland just because it makes them feel better. We need to call this shit for exactly what it is. It stinks to high heaven and we're over it. And we don't need to co-sign on it, period. And we are the Semitic people. We are the chosen people of God, spoken of in the Torah, the Quran, and the fake-ass scriptures. The little tatterings that's left of truth in that thing. But it's there. Then, we'll move it out of that. Let's just go to historical and geographical evidence. Like, forget theology and belief. Who cares if you don't believe in God? Throw that out. Let's just go to history and geological or geographic evidence. We know, historically and currently, people who are Semitic are born in a place known as Africa There is no Middle East, everybody. That's a construct of this white devil. There's no such thing as the Middle East, because then where's the Middle North and the West and the South? Where's those middles? I'm going to need that. And if you can't show me that, then I can't. That's Northeast Africa. Now, every story, everybody we know about, all the prophets, any of their lineage, their families, blah, 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 none of them take place in Poland, none of them take place in Germany, and none of them take place in Ireland. Name for me now the prophet or the book or the religion that comes out of Ireland. I'd love to wait. I'll wait for that. I'll just wait for it. Because I'm sure that I'm going to be enlightened and I'm going to learn something amazing and new right now. And you're also going to tell me also at the same time, you're going to tell me the prophet that came out of Poland and Germany. I'm sure they were exquisite and extraordinary. Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me. You guys tell me. So I'll know. Tell me. Who's that? Who's those prophets that came out of Poland and Ireland? Who was it? And Germany. Who was it? Who was it? So you don't get to have the sappy when you're trying to play on people's sympathy and talk about the old country and how your grandparents made it out of Auschwitz and Germany and all the bullshit, and then you trying to still tie yourself to the continent where we didn't have none of that shit going on. Pick a damn landing spot. You understand what I'm telling you? So they're trying to have it both ways. We're not from there. We want the credit, and we also want the credit for the suffering that may or may not have happened to us over here. Like Helen Thomas said when she got fired from the White House press corps, when they said, well, what do you think the Jews should do, if they're going to get out of Palestine? She said they should just go back home. Go back to Poland and Germany and all of that. They're not being persecuted anymore. Go take your bitch ass home, she said. You're not being persecuted anymore. Go home. And there was your behavior. But don't you see how that really triggered a lot of people? It just was so insensitive. Insensitive. They loved insensitive. Oh my God, I can't. I can't. So they don't have the geography. They don't have it. And they don't have the history. And they don't have the DNA. They don't have, we've got Ancestry.com and all that. The people that find your family tree and all of it. And they don't, you think they'd be headline news on every publication on earth. Look, turns out these people from Poland and Germany and Ireland, they really are Semitic. But alas, we've not seen it. The other mistake that Nick Cannon made in the eyes of this devil is he dared to call out the fact that these Zionists do own everything. They have the central bank. He called out the big movie houses. He said that, which we know this next part already, 6 people, literally 6 people, determine everything that you see and read in print and in media and in entertainment. 6 freaking people, and they're all white devil. 6 people. So we're in an information age where information can be shared like this. So this little fake I'm so offended shit is probably got about a 5-minute shelf life. And people are just going to be over it. Even the layman who's not paying attention and would have no dog in this fight at all is going to just be over it. Just be over it, dude. Like, we don't got time. We're not interested. You're the boy who cried wolf. And I almost want to say you make it look bad for the Orthodox Jews, but not so much, because as people begin to make the distinction and understand, oh, those are not them. Oh. They may not have the language to understand, oh, those are Zionists. Which, I don't know why they need a fucking title. Like, you're just devils, man. You're non-believing people. You're not people of faith. You're not holy. There's nothing that attaches you to anything holy. So you're just the devil doing evil on the earth and fucking up all of humanity. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. That's who you are. So it's almost nice to give them a title. A Zionist. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. These people are not Jews, everybody. These are the people that are spoken of in the Revelations in the scriptures. In Revelations 2:9, I've been telling you this for years. Revelations 2:9 says, and I know the blasphemy of those who say, we are Jews and are not. These are the only people walking around there saying, we're Jews, we're Jews, we're Jews, we're Jews. You never hear from the Orthodox Jew. They don't need to do this. They don't need to. You don't need to. I know the blasphemy of those who say they are Jews and are not. They are a synagogue of Satan. This is in the scriptures. This is Revelations 2:9. This is those people. This is those people. This is those people. That's them. That's them. So what Nick Cannon needs to do is say, you know what? I don't give a damn. I don't need to apologize to anybody. I am a Semitic Israelite. Whether I practice it or not is my own choosing. I don't lose the title. I don't lose it. You understand? I don't lose the title. So y'all can go and kick rocks. You understand? With your mama. All right? And he should also say, something just to be, to get a stab in, because I think it's important to always get your lick in. If it was me, I would say that, what I just said, and I would also say, and to actual Jews out there, I'm so sorry that these people continue to try to impersonate you and act like they're associated with you. I know the difference. And you know I know, and so you and I have no problem. You understand? And he's got a big platform. He could say something like that. Nick Cannon can go a long way to wake a lot of people up on this issue of just even that Zionists are not Jews, and they're not, and that any white Jew, whether they're Zionist or Orthodox, is not Semitic. Not Semitic. And you don't become Semitic. You either have it or you don't. It's like I'm an African. That's why I said, white people, you will never be black. You will never be. Understand how much hip-hop music you listen to, how you try and slow your little language and try and sound like us and whatever you want to do, you will never be us. Ever. But here's what the thing said. I'll just read this. Wild 'N Out, one of the most successful shows in the history of MTV, is no more. This is from Rolling Out, written by Terry Shropshire, no doubt a Zionist. Nick Cannon was immediately terminated by MTV's parent company, Viacom CBS, after he refused to adequately apologize. Adequately apologize. Like it just wasn't enough for us, nigger. You see? What did Charles say a minute ago? Same thing. You see? The memo goes out. He refused to adequately apologize for what has been characterized. See? So this is important because you can't just let those words go past you. He refused to, they could just said, he refused to apologize for statements made that were anti-Semitic. No. He refused to adequately apologize for what has been characterized. That means it may or may not be. We don't know. Again, we're in that we don't know place. I don't know. I don't know. Is that my ass or a hole in the ground? I'll have to carry the one and find out. I'll just carry the one. See, because when you carry the one, you just, let's see. It turns out I still don't know. But characterized as, by who then? Who's characterizing it? Because it's either the truth or it's not. And nobody needs to qualify to characterize it. Who's characterizing it? As anti-white and anti-Semitic. Rhetoric on his podcast while interviewing former Public Enemy member Professor Griff. Cannon is being castigated for stating that black people are the true Hebrews, end quote, and that it wasn't possible for black people to be anti-Semitic because, quote, we are the Semitic people. That's our birthright, end quote. Furthermore, Cannon promulgated a theory about the Rothschilds and the bloodlines that control everything, even outside of America. A theory. So if that's a theory, then you're supposed to do your jurisprudence as a writer and as a news person, as a journalist, and say, no, here's where he's wrong. Here's who actually runs all the shit. So if you don't have a objectionable or a defense, a cogent counter thing to this, but you're willing to slander him and say Cannon promulgated a theory about the Rothschilds and the bloodlines that control everything, even outside of America. Really? It's a theory? Because every bitch in that goddamn royal family seems to all look alike. And we know that you have to be of a certain bloodline to be considered to be in line for the throne and all of it. That's just one example. The drumline actor and show creator also said white people are the, quote, real savages. You would think he's been listening to the Jedi. I'm not being funny. Y'all that listen to me, you'll know. Like, this is me, dude. Also said white people are the real savages and are barbaric, and that their lack of pigment was a little less than dark-skinned people, which leads to a lack of compassion. They're acting out of fear. They're acting out of low self-esteem. They're acting out of deficiency. So therefore, the only way they can act is evil. They have to rob, steal, rape in order to survive, Cannon added. You think this dude is going away quietly into the good night? I think not. And he got money, so he don't really got shit to lose. What's another show? You know what I'm saying? They got enough money. Mariah got money too. Even though they're not together no more, they got them kids, and by default, they still on good terms, so it ain't gonna be good. They're the ones that are actually closer to animals. They're the ones that are actually the true savages. When Cannon's explanation was considered insufficient for the mainstream, when Cannon's explanation was considered insufficient for the mainstream, which is just white people, he was summarily excised from the MTV show lineup. From the mainstream. Again, we have to be over giving any fuck about what white people think, feel, or say. Over it. Over it. That will liberate all humanity. We don't give a damn, because you can't please these people, or whatever they are. You can't please them. They only exist to cause shit for all of humanity. You understand? Here you just had, even in Allentown, Pennsylvania, another white devil on the neck of one of our brothers. Why? Because we didn't take the heads off the ones that were on George Floyd and all the other names we could name before that. There's no reform or law or anything that's going to stop these people, everybody, except for a fucking bullet. And we have to understand that reality. And showing all of them are evil, in that video from Allentown, Pennsylvania, the sister was just driving by and happened to see it, and that's how we have the video. But don't you know the white bitch had to come, and she's going to try and block the sister's view, like block the camera? Just random white bitch that came out of the hospital that worked there. She was in scrubs. Her and another fat white bitch. They just, this again, it wasn't like they had been out, the lady had been out there, or she was later to do it. She was somebody driving by in a car, and they had enough evil presence of mind to come over and try and block her camera. Why shouldn't she have turned the car around and ran them over? I'm sorry. What reason? Again, I don't know. Again, remember, we don't know anything. We don't know. We can't know. It's all, we don't know. We can't know. Viacom, CBS, released a statement that disavowed any relationship with Cannon heretofore. Viacom, CBS, condemns bigotry of any kind. As they're perpetrating this false Zionist bullshit, they condemn bigotry of any kind. And we categorically denounce all forms of anti-Semitism, even though we're anti-Semitic and impersonating Semites. We absolutely denounce all forms of anti-Semitism. We have spoken with Nick Cannon about an episode of his podcast, Cannon's class on YouTube, which shouldn't have had any fucking thing to do with us since he was on his own time and out on our dime, which promoted hateful speech and spread anti-Semitic conspiracy theories because he dared to tell the truth, and we just don't like the truth because we're white devil and we're just evil to our core and we just can't, the truth is like burning holy water for us. While we support ongoing education and dialogue in the fight against bigotry, but we don't want you to educate the people about who they really are and let them know that we're just fake ass imposters, that we're not even Semitic people, and indeed we're not even Jews, and we're hated by the Orthodox Jewish community. Forget that. We fight against bigotry. We are deeply troubled that Nick has failed to acknowledge or apologize for perpetuating anti-Semitism, even though he's a Semite and is not perpetuating the shit at all, and deeply failed to acknowledge or apologize, because there's nobody to fucking apologize to, and certainly not your Zionist bitch asses. And we are terminating our relationship with him. We are committed to doing better in our response to incidents of anti-Semitism, racism, bigotry, unless it relates to us. Viacom CBS will have further announcements on our efforts to combat hate of all kinds once we get our own life together and come up with more evil that we can spread across all humanity with our white devil asses. Now, Nick Cannon said, and this disappointed me, he said in a Facebook page where he said he had no hatred in his heart. We don't need to defend ourselves, everybody. Everybody sees that the motherfuckers who are full with hate are out exercising that hate physically and taking our lives every day. I wish we were doing the same fucking shit back. Inshallah, that day is just around the corner. But you never give them anything. People that know your intentions, they know it. And some people, white people, are in the business of just imagining shit out of thin air. So you definitely don't waste your time on them. Ever. This is Nick Cannon. Anyone who knows me knows that I have no hate. I don't want to read it because it's not important. It's not important. This is just like that same statement that you could fill in the blanks for yourself, where you're supposed to come out now, prove that you, African man oppressed every fucking day, has to prove that you don't have any malice in your heart. Meanwhile, the very fuckers that want all of the sympathy for their alleged Holocaust and all of it are giving Palestinians hell every goddamn day on a land that you weren't invited to and are over there savaging every goddamn day. And people are supposed to feel sorry for your Zionist bitch asses? I think not. You're the only people who to come out of alleged suffrage and then want to go and terrorize the rest of humanity. And that's what they're trying to essentially accuse. This mission is to accuse African people of, as if we could. They were trying it with the gay alphabet crew. Kevin Hart had to come out and apologize for shit 50 years ago. This is all in an attempt to make it look like there's some equal measure of suffering, that it's equal, that him calling somebody a fag or whatever words he used is the same as defending the agenda of oppression and genocide against African people. You're defending it with law and gun, bitch. Your architecture is for our black ass even. Go to a Family Dollar even in some fancy neighborhood and go to that bitch in the hood. The whole way they build is different. Your girl told you in the 1619 project that the way they build the highways in Georgia is directly related, and then Ava did 13, which we didn't need that. I did 13 before Ava did 13. Let the record show. All right, I'm just not Ava DuVernay, and everybody doesn't know me, but I did that already. Anyways, glad she brought it and whatever, and she probably owes me money. We're looking at it with lawyers, but the point is, that's what this is all about. They tried to come at the black community after Obama was elected. They wanted the gay people to turn on us because their little measure for marriage didn't pass. You see? And that was white gay people. So we're not concerned about the religion. It's still white devil. We're not concerned about the type of sex you having. It's still white devil. It doesn't matter what disguise the white person comes in. Their agenda is the same. Bullshit. Just like it was for that, this is the same thing. So just like they came for their measure in 2008, and now they want the black community. Meanwhile, they're using the fuck out of Title IX, which we were jailed and died and were hosed and dogged for. But here they come to use the shit we fought for, bitch. We did that. Our ancestors. So let's not come with this, it's everybody and we're all the same bullshit when you haven't put your damn money in for the goddamn pizza. You don't get the credit without the work on anything. You understand? You want credit for being some victim? Bitch, show me your suffrage. Show it. Show it. You understand? I'm going to need to see some evidence. I'm going to need some receipts. I'm just going to need that. So this is that. This is the new attack. And it's multi-pronged because, like I say, it's one part of it is to equate something else with us. It's also, at the same time, it's also to try and bring the attention off of all the suffering that's going on by African people every goddamn day. You know, like we're just not having it. I don't need no gay people standing up talking about they're equal to us because show me y'all bitch asses are being shot down and killed and stalked and shit is happening to you simply because of what you are. And on the scale that it's happening to us, you can't. Show me now the all these Zionists that are being just shot and they're just so persecuted and where's the persecution at? It doesn't exist. It doesn't. And it's an oxymoron for black people to say, our Jewish brothers and sisters. No, bitch. You don't have a brother and sister. You are the Semite. Because they definitely don't think of you as their brother and sister when they do any goddamn thing. They leave you on your own. Where's this at now? Where am I at? What's going on? Shout out to Some Soul. Pro-human is anti-Semitic to these anti-humans. Thank you. Truth equals termination to Viacom and rest of Snake Media. They own all that billionaire IP doing another brother dirty like MJ. Yeah, I remember even Michael Jackson. I wish Michael had sat up there when he was sitting up there with Lisa Marie Presley and Diane bitch-ass Sawyer. I can just hear out in the country now. They say he's anti-Semite. Die off, bitch. I wish Michael had said, bitch, I am a Semite. Next question. What next? And that's what we need to get these damn celebrities to. Because they're going to be on TV before you and I will. They need to be armed with this knowledge so that this fails right on its attempt. Like, nah, you're not going to throw that anti-Semitic bullshit on me because I'm a Semite, bitch. And if you think I'm not, prove I'm not, and prove you are. If not, move to something else. That shit will go away very quickly. That's why they're moving to this anti-Jewish bullshit now. Okay, so I'm going to stop reading your comments right now, Some Soul, and get to somebody else so that I can just get some other people in. Mika Bagger, I'm waiting for the Orange Circus to tweet about this. And he probably will so he can pile on, Shout out to Nubian DNA. Melody Project says, do not hate on Nick Cannon. He's honorable, I'll just say that. The Mother Goddess and the Celts and Druids. You know what? Melody, for all this typing you're doing, I'm sure you've given this stream a thumbs up. Because it's usually people that don't contribute shit that do all this typing. Not saying you, but also this Some Soul person. I'm just sure y'all have thumbs up with all this damn typing y'all doing. And I'm sure you've donated to my GoFundMe and or my Cash App. I'm sure you've done that. I'm just sure of it. So I'm moving on to other people. Uh, Lightbearer, shout out to you, my sister. Shiro, my queen. Like literally, that's it. And the rest is this some soul person and this melody person. You guys stop typing, damn it! Don't you see you're filling up the entire text, the entire chat? Do you have no consideration for anybody else on the damn planet? Stop it. You ain't got time to read your damn dossier. It's just not intelligent. You don't see that you're filling up the entire freaking chat? You don't see that? Stop typing. Um, some soul, don't type me shit else in this stream right now. Let other people get in. And Melody Project, stop typing. Yeah, because I only see Lightbearer and Mika. That's it. Anyways, um, so listen, Nick Cannon is going to come back, and well, let's just hope the wrong people don't get to him. Because one of the other things he was saying in that piece was that people like who was it? Quincy Jones told. Did he say Quincy? I don't think it was Quincy. It was somebody that told him, you're dangerous. Man, it escapes me now. He also talked a lot about Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Man. But if the wrong people don't get to his ear and try and take his first voice, so I tell you, your first voice is the right voice. You know, your soul knows how you're supposed to react to certain things. You understand what I'm telling you? And don't let nobody divert you away from that. Definitely don't do that. So I'm praying and hoping and begging that Nick is going to. We heard them say in the TMZ piece that he demands an apology from them, and he wants his wilding out. That's what I was gonna say. Wilding out, everybody. If they try and snatch this from Nick, your bitch ass can never watch Wildin' Out again. I tell you, one of the things, the way this white devil succeeds is we allow them facility. So you're going to have to exercise some damn self-discipline and some self-restraint. You cannot watch Wildin' Out. You understand? If Nick Cannon, if this isn't going to be his baby. Alright? But just like the white devils and the Zionists have always done, especially when it comes to entertainment, they want to snatch your stuff out from under you. And he is very adamant about this is his damn show, and it's not carrying on without him. So I'm hoping that he stands his ground Do not apologize to these damn Zionist people because they're not worthy of it. It's not necessary. You've not offended anybody at all. And double down on the shit if you need to. But I hope he continues to sing from the mountaintop that indeed African people are the Semitic people of the Torah, the scriptures, and the Quran, because that will be the unintended downside for these devils, that this information begins to get out there more widely than it would have. It's kind of like Greenwood, Oklahoma. A lot of our people walking around in the dark about what went on in Tulsa in 1921. But when the Orange Puff decided to be an asshole and go down there and hold a rally, suddenly people know about Tulsa now. They know. They know. And so shall be the case. No more tiptoeing around these goddamn Zionist-ass people. We don't need to. Shout out to Titani. Your name always throws me off. Fuck all these people. That you see what happens when I don't make it 18 and over, and then my girl Charmaine is not in here, and I don't know who else is a moderator. But again, they show once again, this is what fucking white people do. We're at peace. All of humanity is at peace until even one of their bitch asses shows up on anything. You see what they do? This is who you are. You are the devil. And you're earning your fucking title right now, bitch. They deserve any title you can give their bitch asses. That's all they are. You know, even the internet is a great place to share information and share your point of view and do whatever you got to do. The only people that fuck up everything on the earth is white people. Period. And you prove me right every time you even breathe. Where is my damn... Wait, y'all. Okay. Let me do my own thing. Understand? Wait, y'all. Alright, y'all. Give me a second. Just give me a second. Get rid of these motherfuckers. Let me finish reporting this bitch, this fucker. Oops. Okay, some soul, you are reported, bitch. Go crawl back into your white devil ass hole and die the fuck off. What's your name? Melody Project. I have not got rid of your ass yet. I'm gonna review. And see if you are worthy of the wrath of the Jedi. Don't rightly know that right now. Alright, y'all. I need to make more people moderators. So let me remind me, Mika, and Lightbearer, any of you guys that normally show up regularly, Shiro, I need to make sure that I make all of you guys moderators so that I can just give the order and it's done. Okay. What time is it, y'all? Oh, God, it is late. I need to weed through all this nonsense so I can see y'all's comments. Let me see. Let's do this. Because I think that now... Oh, wait, let me do this. I have one more thing I need to do to this asshole. Andrea Smith, shout out to you. I can see you now, finally. Cassandra. See, I couldn't see my good people, you feel me? Because of this devils. Let me refresh. Now I've cleansed. I got rid of that asshole. Okay. Let me get to my people now. Amen, Shiro. Shiro said it's cool. Troll the king will get at you. Understand that. This phone is hot as hell, y'all. Donna Gray, big shout out to the UK. And I got rid of this some soul person, Donna. I just blocked them and reported them and removed all this shit. So we good. Damn, it just jumped. Shiro, Jedi Nick is being threatened, and all of it. You see, and no doubt by who? White devils. Nick told him to wake up and apologize. Tani. I see your apology, Melody. Oh my God. Um. Oh man. I'm gonna save us a lot of this frustration again because, like I say, I'm gonna do them like I had started doing them anyway. I'm gonna just start making these 18 and over. That way, people have to fucking sign in. You understand? So it's just this. It's just gonna be that way. It just is. T T says, "What is what the fuck is First Nations?" White, like I said. uh, oh, that was to the melody. You said she said, "Tia, I'm not white. I am First Nations, and $22 is quite a bit to me." What is First Nation? I'm really just asking. I'm not trying to be funny. Like, what is First Nation? What is that? Is that another term for natives that I'm not aware of now? Because there's all these politically correct terms be coming out for different groups and different people. Like Latina X now is new. It wasn't enough just to be Latin, so I don't understand. Anyways, so is that educate? So is that what is First Nations? And just only answer that. Don't start typing a bunch of stuff. Just answer that for me. Uh, um, why don't I see Cassandra now on here? I'm not seeing all the people on here that I saw on there. Let me start over. Let me just go back out. Let's just go out and just out. Come on, come on. Lightbearer says Europe was never a nation. It's peninsulas or islands. Mic drop. Why did that car show up right there? I'm not seeing. Who else did I call out? That I hadn't seen, and then when I looked on there, I seen them. Let's see. Shout out to Felipe. Yeah, T is funny. She kills. Excuse me. Oops. Uh, okay. I'm. I think I read and looked at and shouted out. Yeah. I'm trying to give this melody person a chance. I don't see Cassandra no more. I seen Cass. Maybe she left. Okay, so here's what I'm deducing, Melody. You are one of these white people who is claiming to be native. Do I take this correctly? Like, answer me. Here's all I want you to answer me, and I will know if you're not being honest. Have you ever been mistaken for being Native American? Answer that while I find my magnifying glass. I thought I put it here. Where's my damn magnifying glass at, y'all? Why can't I find it? Blood of Jesus. I don't know where I thought I had it when I sat down. I don't know. Um, okay, Melody, you're off on this dossier thing again. You're doing way too much typing. I asked you specific questions. I don't want you to talk to or answer anybody else. I want you to answer my question to me directly. That's it. Only type what I tell you. First, I want to know, how old are you? As you're reading that, I'm going to just do a dissertation on what you typed. You say, from my last question, oh, you say you're 19. I don't believe you. But that's not the most important thing. Uh, Wait, I see something from Shiro here. T, you killed me, well, black says that you native, so that's not even. Um, so, um, um, uh, uh, damn it, where am I? Shiro said, Jedi, I just wanted to inform you that your last live, I came across it by accident. So they're messing with your channel. I know it. I totally know it. Because truth is like holy water to these people. Like throwing holy water on a vampire. Then you said something to you. You say, girl, how, oh, that's T. Then you say, you're 19. But here's the thing. You say, I think you were answering my question about have you been mistaken, and you say also for being Arab and Spanish. Um, Listen, you can make life a lot easier for yourself. First of all, you need to be honest. Second of all, this is a black only zone here, Melody, because white people and non-black people in general get their feelings hurt when truth is amidst. And I don't dumb myself down or curtail my speech so that you can feel amazing. So it's better for you that you go. You understand? Just go. This is not really for you. It's not for you. You're not the affected class, and you should just go. You understand? You should just go. You should just go. Because I will sink my teeth into you, and I don't want to do it if I don't have to. So I'm giving you a chance now to just go away. And that's fine. The same for you. And I don't need the numbers. I'm not here for numbers and popularity and clicks and that. I'm here to do exactly what you see me doing right here. So that's fine. So just part ways and we're good. Um, if you did in fact donate $22 as you alleged earlier, if you tell me how you donated, I'm happy to give you a refund. How did you donate? Talk to me. This is Africans only. No exceptions. Shout out to Khalifa of the Most High. Yes, sir, we are. I'm gonna land in a minute, Khalifa. You know how I get. You know how I get. No, I'm happy to give you a refund. That's fine because I don't want you to give me something and you don't feel like I only want people to donate to me if they want to help me with my move to Ghana, West Africa. And if they don't want that, then just because they like my work or they like me or whatever. But I don't want you to have given and then it's like now I'm shitting on you. And, that's fine. I'm also a fair-minded man at the same time. So I'm happy to give you a refund and that's fine. Unless you didn't donate $22 and then that was also a lie. So was that not the truth? So I'm just trying to do what's right. Like I don't have anything to prove here. Truth is the only thing that concerns me. That's it. It's the air that I breathe. Shout out to, I can't believe I'm even going to say this, Young Meth 87. Nah, gotta go. That can't be good. You too, Melody. Take care. Bye-bye. Um, so it is late, you guys. I should start landing. I just was really trying to see if there was anybody had missed. Because, like I say, when that soul person came in and just like when I brought my speaking to a halt and was trying to now turn to focus on to see what you guys were saying, it was just all this as this some soul person or whatever the damn name was, just typing shit, and then also the melody chick, and so I'm trying to see did I miss anybody somewhere in between. Because I blocked him and got rid of all his shit. I didn't do that to her because I just, I wanted to see what, but nonetheless, I'm still trying to see if I missed anybody because, um, I feel like I got everybody. T, you are hysterical though. You are, like I you are. I know it. I feel it. I knew that when the first time you were in one of the chats, because you like me. I can hear you talking when you type. Like I do the same thing. I express myself exactly the way I speak, and then I use punctuation and things like that so people they know exactly how I said it. So you do the same thing. Khalifa, strange behavior in the streets lately. Uh, from and by this devil. I think you meant Khalifa. Yes, Mika, I am. I'll get my rest. Uh, we did, Shiro, it's interesting because when I got rid of the some soul person, all of a sudden it evened out. Now we're at 42-40, so there's still two people that have, they're sitting out there that haven't thumbs up. Um, so it's, there's been a lot of time when it's just been off and I just was I'm bitching about enough. I just don't have time to bitch about it. And then also the fact that I didn't make this stream 18 and over. So I was kind of opening myself up for that a little bit, That's why I committed to doing that to begin with, the 18 and over, because I'm like, okay, fine, then I'll just make sure, you know what I'm saying, just make it a little more difficult for people to, now we're totally right, It is what it should be. So I'm going to land here, everybody. Like I say, this is some bullshit. We outside, team no sleep. Okay? Oh, Tia says, Mika, my name's Mika too. Tamika Tani. Hence, Titani. Okay. Well, but Mika is my girl. You understand? T. So, appreciate you go by T. Because Mika's my girl. Baggy. 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 You have... Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to make all you guys moderators, Shiro. I'm going to do that. Thank you, Khalifa. So, this is what I want to say to you guys in closing, too, everybody. I've said this. I've said it somewhere because I'm me and I'm consistent, but I'm saying it again. Wherever you exist in this country and on earth, wherever you exist, whatever you do or whatever your day consists of or your week and all that stuff, you got to start upsetting the spot wherever you at. You understand? You got to just start upsetting the spot. You got to start bringing up stuff that's not popular when it's not even being discussed. You have to be provocative. You understand? I live my life in that space of defiance so that I can either teach or chastise or destroy or rise. You understand what I'm telling you? One of those is going to come out of my act of confrontation and bringing it to and making it whatever. You understand? You got to get out of your comfort zone and stop being comfortable where you're at and then you got to start upsetting. You got to start upsetting you find your defiant bone, find it, and start to exercise it. You know, there's so many ways to do that. You know, there's ways to do that. You know, if you start gauging your week, if you know, we'll start with the week. Actually, it should be daily. So we'll start daily. You know, if at the end of your day you can say that you haven't pissed anybody off, that's a problem, as I see it. Not your own folks, but even your own folks. Obviously, your provocation to them is going to be different than this devil. You know, when I provoke other black folks, and now I see my damn, I'm over it. It's usually to see what thinking space are they in. Where are they vibrating? You know, are they just random and wandering as black folks that are holding me back? Or are they clueless? That means there's an opportunity to teach and install. Or, you know, something like that. That's how I instigate and engage and provoke my own people in my daily life wherever I'm at. It can be something, it can be anything from, I can be in the store, it could be at the grocery store or something like that, at the gas station or anywhere in public. And it could just be some teenager who I'm looking at his underwear. And I say, man, let me talk to you just for a second. And I give him a 10-minute lecture on why he needs to pull his damn pants up. You know, all the way from that up to, I lecture parents. If their parents are with them, why do I see your child's ass and you buy their clothes? Why? People aren't ready for you to challenge them. So they're totally disarmed and they don't know how to react. So I always have the upper hand and the control of how that whole thing goes. Obviously, when it comes to white folks, it's provoke at all cost. At all cost. At all cost. You know. Certainly in the past when I've traveled, even if it's not just day-to-day sniping and psychological warfare, which there's so many ways to wage psychological warfare on these damn people, daily, because that's one of the many things they do to us daily. All the attack is not something you see. A lot of it's psychological warfare that they're waging on us, down to the individual level, like the white bitch you pass by. You understand? It might be something as simple as I'm in an aisle at a store, and there's plenty of room for the white bitch to pass, and she'll still go past. Excuse me. As if you need to say, you didn't even need to say excuse me. She's not really, she doesn't really mean excuse me. She really just wants to be seen in that moment. And act as if, like, I'm so important that nothing about her is engaging me at all that she still needs to say excuse me. Like, I'm 10 feet from you. Die off. But it could be something as simple as I don't yield or move my shoulder. I just make myself rigid and walk forward. And if I bump you, I just bump you and dare you to say anything. Defiance. Wearing my mask that says we are the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren of the slaves you couldn't kill. Defiance. You know, anytime in the past when I've traveled, I make sure I'm in my full, long, white galabia, that it's Saudi, and, you know, my kufi, and my Palestinian scarf, and I'll have my Quran and my sandals. Like, I want to look as much like Hamas as I possibly can. You understand what I'm telling you? Although I'm really just looking like an African, because they got their style of dress from African people. Remember, we was on the desert plains long before there was somebody that looked like an Arab. We kind of we had kind of worked out the fashion gear before they showed up. Just saying. But that's important. You gotta upset spaces and affect spaces where you at from moment to moment to moment. But you gotta be in a certain thinking rhythm. You know, you can't just be a wanderer yourself. So I need you upsetting and provoking in spaces that you're in right now. I need you to be. You need you to be doing that. You need you to be doing that. You need you to be doing that. You need that. You're just gonna need that. Just your blank. Oh, y'all are just yakking away. I didn't even. I just clicked back over here now. And that brings me to say this too, to remind. Thank you guys for even having. I see Shiro and um, Mika Baggy. Um, I remind everybody to do, yes, do go and watch my body of work. And I remind you that when you click on the channel, everybody, even when you click on just videos, like there's the main page, there'll be some stuff there, depending on how your device is set up, depends on what you see. And then, and so that's the main page, all right. Then when you click on videos, there's videos, but you also got to click on playlists because there's stuff in playlists that's not in the videos list. It's only exists in playlists. So there's several playlists that are there. So you have to look at those too in order. Like you should be watching my whole body of work because there's stuff that I mean there's some really good stuff I put out that really should be seen by the masses, and I will grant that some of it was produced before I had the audience that I had rebuilt now to the audience that I have now. I'm still rebuilding, but still you need to go back and watch that stuff. Everything here on this channel is of some value to you. It just is. It just is. And so you should be taking the time to go and watch those pieces of work. All right. So, again, this came up, everybody, whatever. So I'm still endeavoring to get the other video out that I've been telling you about, and honestly, something like this falls in that category, but this is different, as you obviously can tell. This is just different. This is one of those pop-up events, that you can either address or not. And like I say, this was important for me to address because I just came off of 2 back-to-back live streams where this is the very thing that I'm talking about, and then this happens. This this random, non-valid charge against Nick Cannon. Man, I'm looking for the day when African people strike fear in these motherfuckers, and they know that we no longer march and protest, that we show up at your house and turn that bitch into rubble with you and your family in it. I'm convinced there's no other way for us to get result on what we are due, and even if we don't get what we're due, just to get these motherfuckers to leave us the fuck alone. I told you, liberation for us, everybody goes through a very violent and bloody door. That's just the damn truth. Dorothy had to go down the damn yellow brick road, bitches. So our path to liberation and freedom and revolution goes through a very violent and bloody door. It just does. And I'm not saying that blood is on our side. Let's be clear about that. So, I'm going to let us all get to our nightcaps. I appreciate all of you who showed up for the stream. I always appreciate my regulars. You guys are the most faithful. I will tell you that Kai and I were speaking the other night, everybody. When we got off remember we were on the stream and, anyways, when I'm on here, if somebody calls me or texts me, I'm not going to do nothing, first of all, because I don't know what I will mess up and all that kind of stuff. And now we got the low battery on, so I'm definitely going. But, and, you know, I saw Kai's name come up, and okay, fine. And I was so glad because we, you know, anytime we go a certain amount of time without speaking, then we know we need to connect. And, so I was just glad to see my brother, you know, that his name had come up. And then after that, it was saying, I seen his name after that. Another thing came in, and it just briefly, the window came down, and I saw his name, and it said, you need to, something I saw, you need to, but I could see it was CASHAPP. And I was saying, oh, you know, appreciate you, brother, I can't do anything right now. And I just went on with my talk. Don't do it, Jedi. Don't do it. Battery temperature too hot. Okay, let me turn this bitch off. So I definitely can't see you guys' comments now after this because I'm turning it off. This one's gotten too hot. It literally just put up a thing saying it's too hot. You need to watch your ass. Anyways. We got off the stream, and I did what I normally will do now. When I say goodnight to you guys, I will then hit the thing, and then I usually don't mess with my phone because I don't know because it needs to down process, and that usually takes forever. So I usually end up watching it on my other thing. But I also will cover my front and back cameras. Just the universe told me one time, cover your cameras. Cover them. So I don't know, that's just what the universe told me to do, so I do that. But then I remembered, oh yeah, Kai sent me a text. I forgot about that there was even CASHAPP. And it was, then I saw, went to text to see, and I guess it was him texting me. Now I have to go back and look through my phone, saying there's action required. This brother donated $2,000. I'm cried out. I'm so grateful. Cried out. But I'm consistent. And as I said to my brother, me and Sci-Fi were talking about this even the other week, and I was just saying, you know, like I'm grateful, but it makes me, there's a part of me that I don't need to apologize for this because it's just how I feel organically. It's just, if you pinch me, I feel it. If you burn me, I go, oh, I didn't think about it. Just when it happened, that's what I felt. So this is that. I just think about all the people that have gone past me, gone past me. When I said, donate what you can, donate what you can, donate what you can. You know, and they just act like they never heard me. This is not a rich brother. I know him. But he gave way more than he needed to, or had to, whatever the word. And it just makes me sick that there's still some of you who have sat back the entire time. I've said if you got 4 quarters, that means you're on the device. If you're on the device, you got 4 quarters. Donate at least $1. Blah 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 blah, and just on and on. I wasn't gonna share that with you guys, and I even talked to my brother about it, and I just, between talking to him and understanding what he was telling me and that, and I just thought, I decided to tell you that right now because part of me feels like some of you guys just need to be shamed. Just shamed. It's kind of like you go to, a buffet or something, or a family potluck or something, or a company potluck, and you knew you could have brought something, and you just didn't because you're trifling and pathetic. And here comes somebody that put in time to make a cake that's 4 tiers and, like a waterfall or some shit on it, They didn't have to. They could have just brought a bag of potato chips. But here you brought nothing. And I just feel that way. I just feel like some of you guys need to be shamed. Like, damn. Because I would feel like some shit right now. Hearing that, and I knew I could have given, a few dollars, and I didn't. So I just hope you feel bad. Those of you who really just, could do something and just don't. And, I'm so deeply honored. I'm beyond honored. I can't even express how I feel. Do you understand? Can't express. So I'm not going to try and read these, y'all. And I had to turn this one off because it's so hot now. And when it comes up on the screen here, it goes too fast and it's too small, and I can't. It's just too. So I'll read those sometime after. But anyways, big shout out to my brother Kai, and indeed everybody who donates to this campaign. You make it possible for me to even begin to dream that this is really going to be reality for me. Wow. So don't sit back, everybody. If you, whatever you have in your power, that's what you do. That's what you do. You don't have to be a baller, and you don't have to give thousands of dollars. I've said that a billion times. To me, the person who went and gave their $5 or their dollar or their $7 or their $3. I've had all kinds of random donations, y'all, in every denomination you're ever going to name. And those donations to me are the same because they came from the same place. The person that gave $3, that's what they could give. The person that gave 1,000, that's what they could give. They gave what they could. And that's all I've asked. Give what you can. It would have been very easy to come and say, okay, everybody has to give $5, like set a minimum and stuff. Nah, I'm a grateful man for the smallest thing anybody ever does for me in life in general. So if that's consistent with who I am and how I think, hey, just whatever you can. Just whatever you can. I'm good with that. So my link for my Cash App is the Jedi 1814, and the link for my GoFundMe is under the video, everybody. I'll be back, inshallah. I think today is Wednesday. Whatever day it is. I'm just, who knows, because I didn't intend to be back this quick. I already started intros on the piece that I'm working on, and it's just creating itself, but so I don't know when that will be completely done, but just that's what I'm working on. So, but like I said, when pop-up stuff like this comes along, or if you guys let me know about something, also I need to let Shiro know I did get your text. I seen the video you sent me, the link. I'm glad I remember to say that. The link you sent me, and then Kara Watkins sent me the video of I don't know if y'all seen the brother that handled the White Devil. They was in some kind of public building, and this White Devil thought he could lay hands on our sister. This brother did exactly what I've preached for decades, or for years. when I said it doesn't matter, you don't got to be related. When we anywhere, we should be watching out for our women and our girls. Period. And this brother must have got my message through the universe some kind of way, because if you watch the video, you can see he was over there. It wasn't involving him at all. The backstory is apparently the white bitch had spit on the sister. How is that allowed? Listen, we are over white people and their bullshit. We're over it, everybody. We are over it. A new day has come, and they're going to feel it. And this is a prelude to that, because just like when I brought you the video of the sister that beat the white bitch up, that called her a nigger in the damn store. When the sister said, say it again, I dare you say it, and the bitch said it. Dumb bitch, dumb white bitch. And the sister unleashed 500 years of hell on her bitch ass. And I told you in that video, I said, and sadly, you're going to see more of this. We're going to see more of this. We're going to see more of this. And then this, in this case, then the security guards are putting them out. And so the sisters are still barking at them like this is some bullshit and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, it gets to a white dude think he gonna steal on the sister. My man came out of nowhere, homie, like Spider-Man, and whooped him. And the white devil had size on our brother. But you understand that in African, the size don't matter when we're up against these motherfuckers. That's why they come with a crew and guns when they come at us. I don't care if it's an individual, a civilian, in quotations, or one of they damn people in these damn Halloween costumes with a badge. They know they are no match for an African. They're not. And this brother showed that, and he showed us proud. It was my entire life, do you understand? It was my entire life. It was everything I need to live. It was everything. It was everything. It was everything. It was everything. You understand? So anyways, I got that KR, because I think that was the link she sent me was Roland Martin. And even the people that were up there on his panel, you know, I was glad to hear them saying, yeah, like they co-signed on it. You know, nobody tried. I was waiting for them to come with that diplomatic bullshit that I didn't want to hear or know about. I was waiting for that, and alas, they didn't come with that. They was like, yeah. And one of the chicks she that be on his show regularly, she was like, yeah, and they should do it again. Like, do it again. This is what I've been saying. When we start seeing more of our people striking back, it's going to be all out hell on this devil. Because you feel good when you see them get what they're due. You feel good. We talk about stress and all that stuff. People say, you shouldn't harbor. And because it just, no. When somebody do some shit to you, when you do some shit back to them, you feel better. You release all that energy off you and back onto their bitch ass. You're good now. You're good. That's real. That's real. That's real. That's real. You just feel better now. Like, yeah, I'm good now. I feel better. You know, I felt like my knee was giving me problems, but now suddenly I feel like I could do, you know, like a double something, you know, a double cartwheel or some shit. Anyways, so when stuff like this pops up, then some of it I feel like I need to answer, or I need to have something to say on it if I get an inspiration. Like I said, in this case, this tied into the last two pieces I put out. This is exactly what I was saying. And now the shit has happened to Nick Cannon, but they got the right one, homie. I need Nick Cannon to stand his ground, and don't give in to this white devil. No more fucking letters and tweets of apology and shit. Stand your ground. What we're looking for now is for him to maintain ownership of that show, because you can always take a show and go to another network, or put it on yourself or whatever. We're looking for him now to maintain ownership of this damn Wild 'N Out, a show that I do not watch and cannot stand, but whatever. It's still the principle of the fact I want Nick to have it, right? So I leave it here, everybody. Thank you all for sticking with me for this long, and I will see you soon. I am.